Howdy. Well, once again we have another restoration to do for my new buddy Jeff on YouTube. He has this 760 Power Master Variant 2 from October 1973. And the forestock is broken, but it's interesting that it's not actually broken. It's some kind of foam was maybe some early form of urea foam that that die cast these plastic faux wood stocks from, as they call it in early times. And it had a lot of this certain kind of oil, and as this oil seeped out, evaporated, or whatever it did, it made the plastic dry and brittle, and it would literally flake apart. Let me see that. It literally flaked apart. And then they kept building with these stocks, and you can see it's checkering on here. It's there's two different kinds of checkering they did on these. One with the double forks on either side of the pin here, and another one where this under here went around like that and stopped short. So once they ran out of these, they started using those beveled wood stocks like they used on the Western Auto Revelations. So I ordered one of those, and since this has a screw and a bolt put here, it's been drilled out. So I'm getting a new lever, a pump lever assembly, and you can see there it's got the old school piston and seal cup assembly, all one piece. It's pressed together. The thing pumps hard. Just doesn't shoot hard, if I understand the problem Jeff told me about. And it's interesting that the first variant I have was built until 1966 to 70, and this one, built in late 73, has the dovetails on it for the scope, whereas the original one I had does not. I had to machine the inside of the upper receiver house to be able to mount these 1.5-inch MOE Picatinny rails, where you mount accessories and stuff on an AR-15 with, to put up here to mount the scope to. But I think the thing just needs some more seals in here, to be honest, besides the pump lever assembly and the forestock. And I'm going to have to use citrus strip on this, on these receiver halves, and I'll have to paint it gloss black, the gloss black Rust-Oleum. That works really well. But the odd thing is, before July 75, it's got a date code on the barrel band end cap here, or pump tube end cap, however you want to say it. But this one also has a serial number down here on the right side half on the bottom. That is to say, that's odd. And it's got front sight screw broke off. And it's got another screw broken off here. But once I take it apart, there's some screws sticking out like you can see there. So I could take some bent needle nose and get in there and unscrew those. And I also ordered the front sight. I hope the guy caught that in the email with the part numbers. Barrel's in pretty decent shape, but it's pretty rough feeling on the outside from rust and everything, rust pitting, etc. I'll clean and polish that and re-glue everything. Polish the bolt, stuff like that. Well, since I won't have to, since it's got a plastic stock, it doesn't need refinishing. I will be able to save a little time there. So, I guess there's nothing left to it but to do it. And here's a few more pictures I took when he first brought it over, so you can kind of get an overall look at it. Still pumps, but it doesn't shoot right or something. And here's the, looks like April 72 on the front of the serial number on the bottom there. But before July 75, this is where you're supposed to find the build date, which is 103 on it, indicating October 73. Alright, first I'll try a pair of bent needle nose here to try to extract this broken front sight screw. I can't tell if it's unscrewing or not, to be honest. Okay, yeah, there's a slot on one side where a piece broke off like that down the side. You can see that it's turning. Somebody really beat on this thing to break the front sight screw, because that's down flush in that part that's sort of like this on top of the sight, where it's got a little ramp coming up to the blade. Okay, got it out. I'm gonna try not to make a mess, and I do it anyway. Okay, there, it's the broken piece. Let's have it there. Now we got that out. That's a pretty good sized screw hole there. That's the screw number is 160-028, so from the 160 Hell gun up there, maybe. Pretty fair size screws. See, the later 760 front screws were smaller. You need a screw in there to block the hole in the barrel, which is really odd to me with the sights on this thing. I gotta get out some more small screwdrivers and stuff to get some of these other screws out, and gotta knock that pin out of there. I got some roll pin punches I gotta use for that. So I'll try to show you how to get this thing apart. I'm doing it what we like to call the right way. Okay, I got the Umarex Cleaning Kit here, which also has the 6-piece set of driver bits. that fit in the back end of the handle here. You put the that flexible thing you pull through the board to clean it with. That thing, I hate them things. They keep getting. I can't push it through to put the patch on to draw it back through because of those spacer things inside the suppressors and all that. So I just use it as a gun screwdriver. These bits here are downright handy and they fit real nice. Let's poke them out. You got to poke them through from the bottom to get them out. A mustache comb come in handy for that. Now, there we got the back one loose, and that rear side, boy, that front one, I'm gonna have to destroy it to get it out of there. Somebody jammed that thing in there so tight it really won't move. I got this one loose, that one there. I've ruined it already, but I can't even budge the damn thing. And my 6-inch machine file is missing too. I need to use a machine file and a Dremel to wire brush to fix those slots. Let me see if I can use the bigger one. It's just something's got to make that thing come loose. It's just so tight. It's jammed in there and locked. Okay, well, live and learn. This bigger one here fits better than this little one you think you're gonna need. A little bit of rust on them, so I will reshape them with a machine file using the wire brush and the Dremel to smooth it down, and they'll look like new again. A little trick my father taught me. Different ways to use a file. I could take coarse threads on a suspension bolt and fix it with a 3-corner file. Alrighty. Got the front and rear broken front sight screw out. Right there. And they go all the way through too, like these 2 rear sight holes, screw holes right there. And then we gotta start getting this thing apart. I want to see if I can oil that up and use a roll pin punch and a hammer to knock that pin out. That's the wrist pin for the lever I gotta replace. So we can also take out this set screw so I can get this barrel band part off, and I'll have to clean that up and repaint it with the gloss Rust-Oleum as well, because this is a painted alloy part. You can't use bluing on that. Aluminum, steel, they got different bluing, cold bluing chemicals for steel, brass, or aluminum, but alloy, no, you got to paint that. And I saved these Ziploc bags from various parts and stuff that get sent to me in the mail from various places. So I save all of that in one of these. So there's times I'm working on a couple of these at once, and I'm working on one while another one's apart, waiting for somebody to post a used part I happen to need to fix it with, because they're usually vintage. Anyway, put the parts in here so they don't get lost. There. Keep all that in there where you can find it. Now I gotta find my roll pin punches since I could finish taking this thing apart. Get that apart, and then I can take out the set screw, and then I could slide that whole mess out of the end of the tube. I got bubble wrap bags. I can save this and the pump lever assembly to send back home with him, because that's a part of the original assembly, so to say. So I send those kind of parts back home with them, so they've got them just in case. And here we have the hammer and roll pin punches I'm going to use to knock that elbow pin out from in front of out of the pump tube in front of the forestock. Okay, well, I spent an hour and 45 minutes charging the batteries to the camera and the phone. Oh, battery packs, whatever, but I used some Remington Rem Oil Pro 3 here. This stuff soaks in 3 to 5 times better rather than 2 or 3 times better with the regular Rem Oil that has the Teflon in it. And anyway, I use that to spray down here where this pin was. Now I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this. There's a bevel on this end. Oh, and I'm sorry, I got turned around. I couldn't see it. There's a bevel on this end, right there on the edge. That goes in. It usually has a flare right there. This one doesn't. But the one side with the bevel on it goes in the hole first. You tap it with one of these to get it going and get the thing started up. If you got a small bricklayer hammer, that'll work as well. And you take them out or in with, again, like I showed you in the red roll-up pack there. These are roll pin punches, and that's a roll pin. So you can see it's got a little, it's like flat on the end with a ball sticking, it has hemispherical like ball sticking out that goes in the hollow part of the pin, and this flat edge around, the flat part around the edge here sits on the shoulder of the pin. You can see that. Okay. So now we got that out, we have to take the Allen key out, the Allen bolt out right there with an Allen key wrench. Okay. I got 2 sets of these. One's gray and one's red. That are gray for metric and red for US standard. Got to turn these up like that to get down to the whatever size you're wanting to use. And get that to stand up so I can. Oh, here we go. Need to get some more of those nitrile gloves for when I'm working on these things. Keep all this nasty, greasy stuff off my hands. Oh, I keep turning around can see what I'm doing. That is going to fit. I can't get it in there anyway. Okay. And then the tiny ones, I get all the way down to slot car size here. Oh, here we go again. I can't get in there. These screws haven't been loosened in so long. Okay, that was .5/64. Okay. A lot of oil on that thing, and look how black that stuff is. If I didn't know better, I'd swear somebody put moly lube on everything inside this thing and gooped it pretty serious, which you don't need to do, by the way. Not going to be able to see it real good, but right there is 103, meaning 1073, like I said earlier. Okay. I keep hitting the space bar to turn on the screen. It's like a soft light. Take all the lighting I can get. Now this one still works pretty good. And this is what you oil it right here. That when you pull the pump handle, i.e. this, all the way to 90 degrees, you see this sticking out, but you don't see this. This is the oiler ring that you put the oil on. This is the seal, and this is the piston. It's a brass bushing over top of aluminum or steel. This part here and going up in the center here is all one piece. The only way you can get that brass thing off is to cut a slot out with a moto tool and crack it with a large U.S. standard screwdriver. Okay. Gotta find something to push that. Oh man, I got this crap all over me. Okay. And I buy cases of these Prevail wipes like they give you in the hospital, 8x12. $37.80 I think it was at Walmart.com for a whole box of these. There's 48 to an envelope, whatever you call this, and there's a total of 460 or some 760 or something in a box. And for 37 bucks and change, it's a really good deal. And these are nice for cleaning your hands with after you've been working on stuff. So you can go in the bathroom and use Gojo or something like that to wash your hands with more proper. You know what? I shouldn't have. Okay. Well, there's a pin in there, right here, and you can see like a head of a rivet on there. Let me see if I can push this. Nope. No. And then you get that off the connecting rod. So this gets put in this gets put in a bubble wrap bag, and I'll save that for the owner. Okay. Now what I'm basically going to do is save this and not loosen the nut, don't do anything. I'll show you once more like I did in the other videos about these 760 Power Masters, Pump Masters. This is an adjusting nut. You adjust the length of the piston and oiler ring, if you will, from here to the top. This is very important. You have to get that right, because that will basically get this as close as possible to the end of the gas valve assembly where the compressed air comes out and ports, or goes in rather than back in the back of the valve. Here in the exhaust port section there's a valve stem and a port that goes up through a seal between the breech and the pump tube where the gas goes behind the pellet and all of that. But this, if I can get this assembly, I'll use it, because the Mach 1 plastic piston with the white 90 durometer seal around here, you take the brass and this thing off and it presses onto this. Well, that comes off. It came off on my Variant 1 760 because it sat too long, and I lost the doggone the hair dryer. I set it on hot to heat up the tube and push the thing where I know the seal is sitting, and let it get hot, and then pump it back and forth a couple times to get it shaped to the inside of the pump tube where it would work real smoothly, and so I couldn't do that real well, and it came off. So I got to see if I can find another place that has these, and I'll get an extra one to put on mine. But this is a good one. At the very least, I'm going to save that. I'll save that and wrap it in bubble wrap and put it in the bag with the parts and give that back to the owner. So he's got an extra piston and seal assembly. But that's the kind of grease you're looking at, just doing what we've done so far. And once again, there's going to be a lot of parts in this bag. Get all the pieces, parts in there, and see if I can drop that in there without losing it. There we go. Okay. And there we are with little pieces, parts so far. Keep that in the Ziploc bag, that way you ain't gonna lose it. And I guess next, let's see if I can get the receiver screws out of this thing. Alrighty, different camera angle here. I'm gonna cut it off here because I'm up to about 32 minutes already. I don't like making these videos too long. People don't like to watch long-winded videos. So, we're up to the part where we're getting ready to take the two receiver halves apart. And if you ain't careful, you get little screws and spring-loaded stuff going fling-doinging all over the place. And I don't feel like dealing with that when towards the end of a video. So, I'll take that up with part 2 possibly tomorrow, because all those dark clouds really finally blew away, and about the middle of the day, 12:21, so it was right around between around 11:30 or so, it finally cleared up outside, so got some decent lighting here to do stuff. So I'll finish this one and get on the next one. So keep watching, because this thing's gonna go back together. Won't be real quick, but it's gonna go back together. It's gotta, the part that's gonna take the longest is getting the rust and old bluing off the pump tube and barrel and stuff like that, so that I can polish the metal and reblue it. And it takes about 5 days or so, maybe 7, to get that to cure. You got to clean it off, rinse it after about 8 coats of bluing, and then you have to hose it down with REM oil and let it hang to dry. Oil keeps it from rusting well, and helps the bluing soak into the metal and cure up real nice. But that's where we're at for today. So keep your gun oil and your powder dry. Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. We'll see you again.